Hey, what's good with you guys? El Birdman here. I got a new Focusrite deal, and what better way to test it out than to tell another wrestling story? A friend of mine was saying that they wanted to hear one and didn't realize I'd already posted one up. So I decided I was going to tell you guys about chops. So, whenever I first started wrestling, I used to hate chops. The chop, just for background, it's like whenever you take somebody, throw them into the corner or something, and you go over there and you just hit them with your hand, and you just hit them as hard as you can across the chest. Now you're not trying to club them. You're trying to get as much sound as possible. Everybody, Ric Flair is for sure by far the best known for it. You just rear back and you just go. You do that to people, yes. So, I wanted to kind of give you a background of when I started using them. I started using them a lot on the indie circuit, and it was because of somebody named Terry Daniels. Now, to give you a little background, Terry Daniels' claim to fame was that he was a wrestler for WWF for about 2 months back in the 1980s, back when I was a toddler. And then, when we come around to whenever I'm wrestling, I'm in my early to mid 20s at this point, and he would do wrestling training sessions, and he did a lot of old school stuff, which was fine, but that did not clash. That clashed with my style, and I hated that we did not work more psychology and stuff along those lines. So they came around. One day, I had to work a match against said Private Terry Daniels, and then they were like, "Oh man, you're gonna go work a microphone," and that's one thing I used to love about being a professional wrestler, as a heel especially, as I got to go out there and I got to talk smack. And some days I was really good about it. I don't remember how exactly I came. My music hit. I come out and I'm like, I did my shopping for. I'm trying to think of. I think I used like Toys for Tots or something along those lines. But I went shopping for Toys for Tots, as I do all the time at this time of year, and I found out that Toys R Us sells wrestling action figures. And did y'all know that? And in the crowd, a couple of people were like, "Yeah, I mean, of course they sell wrestling action figures." It's like, man, I was going through there, and whenever I came across a Terry Daniels action figure, and I bought one. Y'all want to see it? And the crowd was like, "Yeah," and I pulled out a dinosaur. It was Littlefoot from the A Land Before Time, and I knew I was going to catch hell whenever I did that. And his music hit, and he stormed to the ring, and I'm not going to lie, he chopped me to death, and back body drops and all that. And then, of course, I cheated to win this match, and then I beat former WWF legend Terry Daniels. So we're going to move on along to, I went to go wrestle for Rudy Boy Gonzalez down in San Antonio with a couple of friends of mine. I remember that I wrestled somebody from Amarillo. I could not tell you the name that they worked under, but I do remember that Bryce Payne and Blade also went down there with us, and they had a hell of a match. In the middle of the show, they had a match with a young guy, and like this was his second show he'd ever worked. And how wrestling training works is you go through a series of months of doing this, that, and the other, learning how to hit ropes, learning how to roll, do all these little things to make the product look good. And this cat was really feeling himself. This was a second match. When you get to your first match, usually you work your wrestling trainer, okay? And I remember before the show, he had commented to the wrestling trainer about how he had messed up a spot in the deal. And he's like, "Well, I didn't mess up the spot, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, man, oof, this kid's really feeling it." Well, this kid, he wrestles this guy named Fix, okay? Now, Fix looked like a He-Man action figure. This guy was super tall. Like, he was 6'6", 6'8". Like, I mean, the longer that memory goes, the taller the guy gets, okay? But, I mean, he had long hair, and, I mean, he was built like Conan the Barbarian should have been, I mean, like I said, this guy was huge, okay? And he wrestled under the name Fix. And he worked against this kid. And the kid went through through this match, and the big guy is beating him down. The kid's like my size. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", and the kid is getting his comeback. Because the guy's been squashing him the whole match, and he rears back and he punches the guy with the forearm, punches the guy with the forearm, and then he punches him in the face. And when he punched the guy in the face, his head jerked back like, ow, that sucked. And then he turned around like, you really messed up, kid. And he beat the shit out of him. Just all over the ring. Whenever he came to the back, some of the guys were like, hey, man, like, what was that all about? And he's like, that kid broke my tooth. I was like, oh, yeah, man, that's pretty ruthless. Well, at the end of the match, or at the end of the show, we were going to do this Rumble. And whoever won this Rumble was going to get a shot at the world title for their wrestling company or whatnot. So what we knew right out the gate is that we were going to get rid of Fix because there's 10 of us and there's one of him. So as soon as the ring bell sounds off, we all throw Fix out of the ring. And then all hell breaks loose. The rest of us all start, fighting against each other. Well, I get teamed up against the kid. And the kid, I was like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not the one that's going to win this match. I'll give the kid whatever he wants, So he throws me into the turnbuckle, and he runs, and he hits me with the clothesline in the corner. And when you're in a wrestling match, sometimes you got to call spots or whatever. Well, this kid calls that he's going to club me in the chest, and he rears my head back, like underneath here, and hooks my head and my neck, and pushes my head back, and he brings down his forearm right on the top of my face, and like right across my nose. And I'm telling you, like, this kid for sure broke my nose. Like, it just instantly, we had color everywhere. Like, there's blood just pouring down my nose or whatever. And it was instant. The look of shock on this kid's face, because he knew that at that moment he fucked up again, messed up a second guy, and he was like, oh God, do something. And I was like, oh boy, will I ever. So I just grabbed him and I turned him into the turnbuckle and I chopped him to death. I just started hitting him just back and forth, and I just let him have it. We get back to the back. I'm one of the first ones eliminated. And then Fix is the only one that's in the locker room at this time. And I go back to the back, and he's like, hey, brother, you got a little bit of color right there. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? And I was like, that kid that broke your tooth? I think he broke my nose. And then we had a good laugh about it. I was a good sport. The kid apologized. I never saw him again when it was all said and done. But, yeah. That's how I got into chops. And after that match, I used chops religiously whenever I came back to Amarillo, Texas. And every time I took it out on the road, and heaven forbid that you actually caught me in the head, because then I was gonna chop any exposed part of your body. I was gonna chop your upper back, lower back, your stomach. I mean, it didn't matter. I was gonna let you have it. So, anyways, thank you for tuning in, listening to El Birdman yammer on about his career as a professional wrestler. I'm about to go to Austin, go play some Big O down there, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to go visit my mom in San Antonio, go to Dallas, go to Durant, and it's going to be a hell of a time, man. I'm going to be seeing a lot of people. I'm going to post some pictures. I just started my new Facebook. This is going to be the first thing that goes on it. So thank you guys for your time, and we'll see you guys around. Thank you.